There are quite a few different methods for preserving. One of my favorite ways of preserving fish, like this gorgeous fillet of king salmon, is to cure it. Curing uses a combination of salt and sugar and flavorings to preserve the flavor, color, and freshness of the food. And this is going to turn out to be Gravlax. It's a traditional Scandinavian dish, one of my favorite ways to eat salmon. And it's cured unsmoked, and the salmon itself develops a buttery texture and a very nice, fresh, full flavor. First, make a dry marinade using coriander seeds, about 2 teaspoons, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and that's for a 3-pound piece of fish. You can multiply these ingredients if you have 6 pounds or 8 pounds or 12 pounds. A whole half a cup of coarse salt, and grind this all together in a mortar and pestle. Just break those coriander seeds up a little bit so that you release some of their flavor. And we're also going to add some black pepper, a heaping teaspoon of black pepper, coarsely ground. And that's as easy as can be. Make sure the fish is impeccably fresh, no smell. And you're going to spread this dry marinade right over the pink flesh of the salmon. So completely coat the flesh. Lay a piece of plastic wrap on the surface of the fish. Now I put something flat on top. This will be weighted down. After a few hours, you can put some weights on this dish, like some big cans of tomatoes or a cast iron frying pan. Then cover the entire dish so that it is airtight. You don't want the fish to pick up any smells from the refrigerator, and you certainly don't want the other things in your refrigerator to pick up any smell. Put this in the refrigerator for 24 hours, turning the salmon once or twice during that time. So you have to imagine that 24 hours has passed, and we do have a swap out. Remove the cans of tomatoes, uncover the salmon. This little rectangular dish has come in very handy, by the way. That's a good way to weight down. What you're trying to do is compact the salmon so that the texture becomes all uniform. So here we have the marinated salmon. You can see a lot of moisture has accumulated in the dish. And now what we want to do is scrape off all the excess spice. So there, that's the spicy side. And there might be some excess here too that can be scraped off. And we have a clean dish. Put the salmon back in the dish. Sprinkle the entire fish with approximately 1/4 cup of olive oil. A little more won't hurt. And 2 nice helpings, say about 2 tablespoons of vodka. And 2 teaspoons of whole coriander seeds. So we're continuing with the coriander theme here. I like the flavor of coriander seeds, and I'm not crushing them this time, just putting them on whole. So already it's looking different, and it smells different. It smells really good. Coarsely chop 1 bunch of dill. And now spread that all over. And this is going to stay, again, in the refrigerator, covered and weighted down for another 24 hours. So here we have our 48-hour cured salmon. Scrape off the dill and the coriander seeds. Those little bones that are in the fish can be pulled out with pliers like this. You can see how flat the ends are of the pliers, and that's for easy removal of those pin bones that are sometimes stuck in the sides of the salmon. Now, I found there are many different ways to slice salmon like this. So what I do is I cut the fish into equal pieces. And say I'm going to use bread like this for an hors d'oeuvre. I will cut the salmon the same size as the bread. So I'll cut myself a piece like this. What a beautiful texture. You can see how silky it is, almost shiny. It's so beautiful with all of those spices and olive oil and vodka. You can use a fish knife like this, or you can use a Japanese knife like this. And what you want to do is slice across the grain this way, cutting the salmon pretty much in a piece that will nicely fit your bread. Now, isn't that a pretty presentation? Now, this process of slicing is helped by the fact that you still have the skin on the other side. And that skin, you just cut down to the skin. And so if you want, just put a little drizzle right on top of this beautiful dill sauce, on top and below. It's very pretty. And these little squeeze bottles are so handy. And a little sprig of dill on top of each one. And this is a very lovely hors d'oeuvre tray, and I think your friends and family will certainly appreciate the effort it took to create cured salmon, Gravlax style. It's healthy, it's delicious, it's pretty, and it's not very difficult to make.